I'm Sophie Bird and I am the writer, director and producer of For the Love of Dog.
If Mum was still here, you would have been at home in the warm with a cuppa while I walk buckley.
If Mum was still here, then she would not have been happy to watch you come crawling back home after another arrest.
What happened?
For the Love of Dog is primarily about two sisters who are very different from one another, are basically taking their dog for a walk in the park when their dog sees something in the distance and they lose grip of the lead and they ultimately lose their dog. So the entire film is about these two sisters rebuilding their relationship with one another while on a sort of quest to find their dog in the open woods. I was motivated at the start of this year to try and make as many films as possible, especially outside of my degree. So For the Love of Dog was kind of my first film of the year. It was like I wrote it to try and get better as a writer and a director and also a producer and see how well I can make films with minimal budget in very short spaces of time and just like progress in my quality of work. So there wasn't really any particular inspiration for it. I was mostly driven by motivation to become a better filmmaker and hone my craft further. We managed to get the entire 10-minute film done in about 6 hours of shooting in one day. So I thank my freelance AD skills for being so good at scheduling. There wasn't really any particular challenges other than the fact that it was a very, very cold day and we were outdoors all day. So no, there wasn't really any particular challenges other than the fact that it was absolutely freezing. One of the very key aspects about the film was that it is called For the Love of Dog, and I needed a dog to be in the film, but thankfully I have an absolutely lovely little border terrier at home called Wilson, who I dragged out into the freezing cold on a rainy January day. And they never say, don't ever work with children or animals, but when it's your own dog, I don't really think there's a problem with it. When your dog understands you, understands what you're saying, understands what you want from it. It was basically making this film was quite literally a walk in the park, and it was really, really comforting and nice to have my little dog there, who I think was great in the film. I'm really proud to have expressed and conveyed through my own direction, especially with my two main actors, Amelia and Anna. I think that the time that we spent over coffees doing little script meetings and doing the blocking and all of that stuff, I really built a thicker bond and a better relationship with my actresses, which I think meant that when we actually got to the day and we filmed, we were able to get it done so quickly because I'd put the time and the effort into making sure that my actors knew what I needed from them. I hope that audiences will take away the same thing that I took away from the film when I finished it. I really hope that they find it heartwarming, they find it comedic at times, and it's a film ultimately about, no matter how different you are from family members or friends or anybody that you care for in life, is that no matter what pulls you apart, there are always things that you will have shared through your life experiences that will ultimately bring you together again. And I like the fact that all it took was for them to lose their dog in the park, for them to persevere with one another and get through that challenge together. And of course, in the end, they do find their dog. And it's nice that when they find their dog, they also find each other. Oh, I am immensely proud that my first ever film outside of the comfort blanket that is my degree and education, and the first film that I actively went out there and produced and got everybody together and made it happen, especially on no budget at all. to produce something that is just so lovely and that I'm so proud of, and to admit it, like, it's my first ever festival submission as well, and for it to rocket up to a nomination, I think when I read the email, I just was in my bedroom and I opened my laptop and I read the email and I screamed, because I just couldn't believe that my first ever film would make it to a nomination. And I think just to be nominated for an award in itself is a win. So I'm so proud of myself and everybody who worked with me making that film, especially my dog. I think I owe it to my dog Wilson. He got me there. So if you'd like to come and see my film For the Love of Dog, you can do so on Sunday the 19th of November at 12 p.m. at Millennium Point in Birmingham.